My name is Pamela, and I am a 40-year-old from a small town in the state of Texas. Despite my past sins of infidelity, I am deeply in love with my wonderful husband, with whom we share a son. Let me tell you about one week in my life that may not have been the best, but was definitely unforgettable. This particular week occurred in the winter of 2014 when my husband and son went to Aspen for winter vacation, and I was home alone. Being a tall and slender brunette, I attracted the attention of many men who often underestimated my true age at first glance. One morning when I woke up and headed for the bathroom, I was stopped by the sound of the phone. In a hurry, I rushed into the living room and answered the call. It was Angela, my son's godmother, inviting me to join her later that evening. She offered to have a heart-to-heart talk over drinks, and I could even stay the night at her place since her husband was away on a business trip. In Angela's house lived her son Victor. He was a slender young man in his 20s. After finishing the conversation, I went back to the bathroom to get my body in order. It was already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had little time to prepare. First, I did my manicure and pedicure, then waited 10 minutes for the nail polish to dry. After that, I applied a bright red lipstick and some powder and eyeshadow to emphasize my look. By 6 o'clock I was ready, but there was only an hour left and I had to hurry. I dressed elegantly, caught a cab, and headed to Angela's. We were in the living room, gossiping and sipping wine. Suddenly we heard the door open, and Angela exclaimed, "Victor's here." I looked at him and remarked to my friend, "Your boyfriend has matured and become very handsome." Victor blushed and replied gratefully, "Thank you, Aunt Pamela." Angela immediately bustled over and sat him down at our table. Angela also joined, and Victor began to eat while we continued to enjoy the wine. Suddenly he asked, "Could you pour me some?" I didn't mind, but Angela reluctantly agreed, gritting her teeth. As a result, our company expanded. It was a pleasant evening, the likes of which I hadn't experienced in a long time, and Victor's unusual look at me made me feel uncomfortable. We sat like that for quite a while, probably until midnight. Suddenly, Angela suggested to end the evening, as everyone was very intoxicated. We all agreed, and I was sent to another room. However, I could not sleep, as my thoughts were occupied with my friend's son. Suddenly, the door to the room opened, and Victor entered it. Our eyes met, and there was a silent exchange of glances. Here, words were not needed, and so everything became clear. Then we started a relationship. I came to my senses in the morning and realized what I had done. I felt bad and wondered what would happen next. We all drank coffee together, and I decided to go home. And here, Victor volunteered to drive me in my father's car. I resisted, saying I didn't need to, I'd take a cab. But Angela insisted. I wanted to say goodbye and forget this awkwardness after yesterday. But Victor asked me to come over. How could I refuse him? And that's how Victor came to visit me for almost a whole week. After a passionate week with young Victor, I was over the moon. I knew it was wrong to cheat on my husband, but I couldn't get enough of Victor's manly warmth and tireless endurance. The things he did to me took my breath away. When Victor came to say goodbye, we inevitably found ourselves naked again and devouring each other right on the marital bed. As Victor was clutching my wrists above my head, the front door suddenly swung open. To my horror, my husband froze in the doorway with a suitcase in his hands. Victor and I rushed to cover ourselves with sheets, while my husband screamed, "What the hell is going on here?" Before I could stammer an excuse, he burst into the room and grabbed Victor by the throat. "You think you can sleep with my wife, you snotty little brat?" Victor choked out an apology, trying to break free. I begged my husband to stop before he endangered the boy. After a tense moment, he pushed Victor away with a growling warning. "Get out now and never come back." Victor hurriedly threw on his clothes and ran away. My enraged husband lunged at me, demanding an explanation. I fell to my knees in pleading, swearing that it only happened because I was drunk and lonely without him. But he didn't care about that. It's over between us. He hissed, "I'm taking our son, and you're getting divorce papers." He ran out, leaving me sobbing. Over the next few months, I tried desperately to win my husband back, but to no avail. We divorced. He took primary custody, and I only visited my son occasionally. My life had become one of depression and drunkenness due to the loss of my family. As for Victor, he was wise not to return my calls. My momentary weakness cost me everything I cared about. I'm still tormented by regret that I didn't resist Victor's charms. I doubt my husband will ever forgive me. Now I have a lonely future ahead of me, and I wish I could turn back the clock and make a better choice.